Ready? Welcome back to the Bullet Grill House High School Sports Pregame Show. Craig Irwin, Brian Best, Chris Moran. Coach Vanover sitting in with us from the Livingston Lion football team. And it's been a great visit with Coach Vanover as we've progressed on throughout the show. But everybody's favorite segment here and the pick'ems. And last week we all evened it out. The worst one was...
It's comedy. It's the comedy segment
because
we usually don't do very well.
But who did the worst last week? Coach Ratliff did.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. He got short end of the stick, and I probably need to send him a screenshot and remind him. Just to kind of give him a hard time.
Well, he's got to lose something. He's 5-0 right now, so he's got to lose something.
No, and you know what? He'll take losing them pick'ems over a football game any day of the week. And we asked Coach Vanover if he wanted to join in. He's going to sit here and listen. He may chime in on one or two, but we're going to talk about the pick'ems. The first one out of the box is Dayton at Nederland. I'll get started on this one. I have not been impressed with Dayton this year. Actually, about the last 4 or 5 years, I haven't really been impressed.
I don't think anybody has been.
No, including Dayton.
Yeah.
I got to go with Nederland, even though they've had their struggles this year. I mean, but whenever you lose to West Orange, you lose to Port Arthur Memorial, and you lose to Silsbee, I mean, those are storied programs that could go either way, but really and truly.
It's why whenever someone says you are what your record says you are, no, you're not.
No.
Because if you play a schedule like that, it's all right to lose by a couple of points in those games. If you play a game where you're playing down in competition in non-district, then you're probably not as good as you say you are.
And I'm going to elaborate on that just real quick while you're talking about it. Is I got a video sent to me. It was a hype video from Tarkington. And it has me opening up that video saying if Tarkington finishes 500 football, that they'll be lucky. And I stand by what I said on that. And the reason why is you go in and you look at their win-loss record. Yeah, they're 3-1, but they beat Evadale, they beat Huntington, and they beat the private school down there in Beaumont. So whenever you beat somebody with more than a 1-2 record, then you can brag. Not taking anything away from the kids over there. That's a young football team there in Tarkington. And
they've had plenty of struggles throughout their history.
Yeah,
so anytime that they're on the winning side, it's a big deal, and I get it. But at the same time, whenever district comes around, it has a way of straightening people out.
And they're going to win their first district game this week against Hardin. It's their homecoming. Hands down, they're going to win it. But then they go to Orangefield. Then they host Kirbyville. Coach Allen's done a great job over there at Kirbyville the last 3 years. Then they go to East Chambers. The only questionable game that I throw a question mark in there for the Longhorns is the Buna game, and that's with the drama that's going on over there. Head coach gets shifted down. I don't know the whole story. I don't think anybody does. New superintendent gets hired. Coach gets demoted. If you go and you read the rumor mill, there's all kinds of rumors flying around. But at the end of the day, whenever the leader of a program gets demoted, it affects those kids. So I put a question mark on that game. Anahuac, I don't think there's anybody in the district out of District 10 that's going to beat Anahuac as they progress on. So whenever, going back to my original comment, Tarkington finishing 500 football, I just summed it up right there. Next game, Hampshire Finette at Jasper. Brian, I'm going to let you start this one off.
I'm not going to pick against Jasper when they're playing at home. I know they're not the same team as they have been, but I'm still not going to pick against Jasper when they're playing at home.
Chris?
I took Hampshire Finette.
Coach?
Jasper.
I'm going Hampshire. I'm going Hampshire Finette on this one. I've seen Hampshire Finette play. They got a lot of depth over there. I feel like that this is their year. And they've been building on this for some time.
Very well coached, lots of speed.
Yes. And
so does Jasper.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree. I think this is going to be the upset of the week. And I think next week, when you and I sit down and do our couple podcasts, that we're going to be talking about this game a lot. I'm going with Hampshire Finette. And this may be the difference in with the way the pick'ems go.
By the way, I'm picking Nederland in that first game.
I am too. Chris, who are you picking?
The first game, I got Dayton.
You got Dayton. Okay.
He's got to go against us.
Coach,
Yeah.
did you want
Nederland.
You're going Nederland? Yeah. Goose Creek at Barbers Hill.
And see, I tried to cheat on this one. I'll be honest with you guys. I tried to ask Coach how much he knew about Goose Creek. I don't know. I know that they are a better program than what they've been in the past. I think it was, 12 years ago that Goose Creek started over there. And there has been a few years where they have been a good football team, and I believe they've made the playoffs. But I can't imagine that they are to the point to where they're beating Barbers Hill at home.
So Barbers Hill's record, they lose to Magnolia West, they beat Montgomery, they lose to Baytown Sterling, they beat Crosby, they lose to LaPorte.
I would be okay with all of that, and I would still feel confident in Barbers Hill.
I'm going to go Goose Creek Memorial on this one.
Barbers Hill.
Barbers Hill.
Barbers Hill. I'm the only one going the other direction. This may be my worst week ever in the pick'ems, and it's okay. It kind of level the playing field.
Let's hope so, because I'm tired of embarrassing myself.
Cold Spring on the road at Crockett.
Cold Spring. Hands down.
I got Cold Spring.
I'm not going against the hometown, Cold Spring.
I'm not going to go against Cold Spring either in this one. I think it's going to be a tight football game, but I think it's going to be probably what could be the last win of the season for Cold Spring. And Coach, I'll have to send it to you, but did a podcast. I got Cold Spring going 4-6 this year. And there's a lot of holes in the offensive line for the Trojans. I think the lack of depth that Crockett has this year, I think the drama that they had this last week is going to be rough for the Bulldogs. And
You really don't want distractions when you go against a program like Cold Spring, because, and that's what I was telling him last week. I know he's got him picked 4-6, but to me, just based on history, there's a standard and there's a level of expectation whenever you're going and you've got a program like Cold Spring. They expect those kids to make the playoffs. They expect to have a winning record, and for a school like that to go 4-6, I got to see it first.
Well, and I don't disagree with you, but I see them week in and week out. I watched them in their scrimmage against Lumberton. I looked how weak the left side of the offensive line was. I still look at how we struggle running the ball to that side. I seen something this last week against a very bad Huntington football team defensively. That's a team that you're supposed to shut out, and you're supposed to put – there's no reason why Cold Spring didn't put 60 or 70 up on that. But in my opinion, that's where Cold Spring is really down with that offensive line. There was very few tackles behind the line of scrimmage, but defensively Huntington was able to make some plays. I don't feel like overall when you go to play against a good Crockett football team, and let's be real, this is probably the second time in forever that you didn't talk about Crockett in the playoffs. They're just a storied program. It's a football town, and a buddy of mine, my broadcast partner, we talked about this today actually on the phone Wednesday. There's more going on in Crockett for the amount of kids that's not buying into the program. And when I say that, when there's 5 or 6 on the sidelines, there's a problem. And Crockett's never had that problem before. And Coach, you've been around high school.
Played them a million times. We played them 6 consecutive years for the district championship in Diboll. And it was standing room only. Packed houses, and buddy, they had 40 of them over there that could play.
Yes.
And yeah, it's
and not only on the football side, but the basketball side was jammed up fairly tight as well.
Same thing.
And to not be talking about Crockett and making the playoffs, I think
it's strange. That's different.
I think Palestine Westwood is the sleeper that nobody's talking about out of this district. And Coach, I brought it up last week. They fall to Palmer, which top 10 team in 3A Division II, and then they fell to New Waverly as well in a one-score game. New Waverly's in the top 25, and I think that says a lot about that Palestine Westwood football team. And Shepherd, while we're talking about it, is the team that I think is going to end up in the 3 seed and Westwood in the 4 seed. I think Coach Robinson made the hire of all hires with hiring Kid Harrison as the defense coordinator over there at Shepherd, and really looking forward to what Coach Robinson does with that Shepherd Pirate football team over here in District 9 3A. But that's your pick'ems. Y'all heard it right here, and we appreciate y'all tuning in. We're here at Bullet Grill House every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. We get kicked off with the pregame show, and for you to listen to on your way to the game. And as I'm going to be traveling to Crockett this week, Brian, he's going to get to sit at the house.
No, I'm not. I've got volleyball somewhere. I don't know where it is because I haven't looked. I've been lazy, and I probably won't look until tomorrow, but I'm going to be covering volleyball somewhere. I think, is Livingston at home, Coach? Yeah, so I'll probably be over there in Livingston Gym.
Coach Vanover.
Hardin Jefferson. Yeah.
Coach Vanover, I imagine you're going to be watching Huffman this week.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, that's where you're going to be on the road. Chris, you're going to be right here at Bullet Grill House.
I'll be here at Bullet Grill House. We'll be watching the U of H game is on tonight, so Friday night. We'll check that out, and then we got a full lineup. We also got the Rays on against the Astros, and then a full lineup. Join us tomorrow morning. We got the college football show on Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock. Check in, listen to that. Either come here and listen to it at Bullet Grill House, or listen on the road, and then come in and join us for some pregame and get some breakfast and head into the Saturday football.
That's what I was going to say. Come to Bullet Grill House, get some breakfast, listen to the College Game Day show, and get yourself moving in the right direction. You got 6 screens on the inside, 3 to the outside to watch college football and get your Saturday started off right. You're listening to the Bullet Grill House High School Sports Pregame Show. That's going to do it for us tonight at the Bullet Grill House. We'll see you at the game.